Yo, it's Elliot with Yo Elliot. You got strength questions and I got your answer.
Yo, Elliot.
Alcohol.
Well, today we got a question from Gold Crown Alpaca. He wants to know about drinking and training. Check him out.
Hey Elliot, what's happening? Holy fuck, this looks like it's so loud right now. My bad if it is. But so I got a question about alcohol. I'm doing my both phase right now. 3 months till summer. I'm 179, trying to hit 190 by then. Basically, how much can you drink? What shouldn't you drink? What should you drink? Tequila, rum, gin, tonic, whatever you name it. Basically, how will it affect my body? Like, I'm planning on not drinking quite to even as much. Except I do got one event this summer I have to do, Beer Fest. It's a whole weekend, I know. Bad for me still. Just, how can I drink and still get my gains that I want without sabotaging it completely? Like, if I go, say, drink a night, what would I do to get my body back up to it? I was reading that you could read like, I mean not read, I was reading that you could drink like a gallon water before you go to bed. When you wake up, hit up another gallon or something. Go to bed. I don't know, just what are some tricks you could do? I'm sure you drink, obviously. Well, not obviously, I'm sure you have before you got super fit mode. Just, sure everybody wants to know this, and looking forward to hearing your answer. You alright? That's what's up.
Thanks for your question, dude. Here we go. Everybody knows that drinking alcohol is bad for your health. You don't need me to tell you why it is. But I'm going to share my experience with drinking alcohol and how I minimize its effects on my training so that I can continue to get stronger and get hammered at the same time. Fair? Here's the deal. When I was in college, I was a beer drinker, like 90% of all college students. And I played football. What I realized was that if I was drinking beer on a Saturday night, say after a football game, and getting hammered, it would take me until Wednesday to fully recover. So that's like 4 wasted days at least of training that I could have been getting better at my sport, but because I was still recovering from being hammered on the weekends, my performance declined. So a few of the things that I did to minimize the amount of hangover and the length of time with regard to hangover is, like you said, I drank a ton of water, I downed a ton of vitamins, and I took a lot of Advil before going to bed. That was great. I mean, it worked, but it still definitely wasn't optimal. It still took an extra day or so to recover. I was doing all types of bad stuff to my liver, and I wasn't being the strongest athlete that I possibly could. So anyway, after college, I went completely abstinent from alcohol. That's it. No alcohol whatsoever for probably about 3 years. And I gotta be completely honest, I felt the best. I had the most energy. I didn't need much sleep. I was just cranking out, doing a million things without any care or worry about fatigue or recovery because I didn't drink alcohol. Things were awesome. Then a crazy thing happened. A friend of mine from New York came down to Florida to hang out with me for a couple days, and he drinks top shelf alcohol. Now, like I said, in college I was a beer drinker, and it was probably cheap beer, and I hadn't drank much alcohol up until the point when my friend came with his top shelf liquor, right? So I figured, yo, my buddy's here from out of town, let's have a couple drinks. And I drank, and I got hammered, and I fell asleep on my couch, and I woke up the next day, no hangover. Now, for someone who hasn't drank in several years, to have drinking the amount of alcohol that I did, and then to wake up the next morning, go train, and forget that I drank the night before was miraculous. What I discovered was that top shelf liquor, especially vodka, like Grey Goose and Belvedere, for some reason does not give me hangovers.
I claimed at your wedding reception your best man's embarrassing speech.
And this was great. It was like discovering gold, but it also led to some pretty bad habits. Because I didn't get any hangovers, I decided, why don't I get myself a bottle of this top shelf vodka? And for a couple months there, I got hooked on sucking it down about 3 times a week. Now I can't tell you that my performance struggled much because I wasn't involved in sports at the time. So this was after I tore my bicep and I wasn't doing strongman anymore, and I was just training for stuff like the Tough Mudder. But I got hooked. Alcoholism can happen. After about 2 months, when I realized I was thinking about alcohol on my way home, I realized this has got to stop, and I quit cold turkey. So I'm giving you mixed messages here, buddy. I'm letting you know that that if you're very aware of how your body responds to different types of alcohol, you might be as lucky as I am to get away with drinking top shelf shit. And here's the thing with top shelf, it costs a lot more money, but you don't have to drink as much either. And the hangover is non-existent. So I'm assuming that you're probably like a 20-year-old dude, and you're sucking down natural lights or like PBRs or something like that. Well, splurge a little bit, get top shelf stuff, drink less, and have no hangover. I promise you. But I can't promise you that it's going to work exactly like it did for me. I have a tendency to believe that alcohols that are clear, like tequila and vodka, will give a similar type response to most people, but I'm not entirely sure about that. This is all guesswork. The other thing is, I'm letting you know that alcoholism will destroy your life. Make sure that you've got your hands on the steering wheel. Like I realized after those 2 months when I was thinking about sucking down screwdrivers on my way home from work, that okay, this is a slippery slope, and I had to stop completely. A lot of people have a hard time with that, and I, Elliot Hulse, went through detox for about 3 days, and it was terrible. I never thought that would happen to me. So alcoholism is a fucking problem, dude. Don't let it happen to you, and realize that you're always going to be giving something up when you get hammered. You're going to have to give up either a few days of recovery time, especially if you haven't figured out a little trick like I have, or several other things. I know you're having a good time. I know that you're a young dude. I'm not going to tell you don't drink because I'd be lying to you, especially if I said that I didn't drink. But do your best to pay attention to the way your body responds to it and be responsible, brother. I hope that helps. Talk to you next time.